Hi girls and guys, it's Mr. Tracky and we're on the right track. So there's been a bit of a surprise update today. Now we already had version 4.3 and we received the new bouncer trap. However, Fortnite Epic Games have literally just improved this update with some shocking stuff. Not necessarily shocking, but things that are pretty ballsy for them to do, and they've made adjustments to several things. But before we get into that, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to get my videos as soon as they're published, and if you wanna, drop a like on the video. So let's go down into the battle royale stuff and see exactly what's been happening, because there are nerfs coming to the shotguns in the game and some adjustments to shotguns, which is something that a lot of people have been screaming out for a long time. One of our goals for Fortnite is to have a number of ways to play the game and be successful. We've identified some strategies that are overly dominant and we'll be making some adjustments today. Going forward, we'll continue to monitor how we can best support the gameplay variety. Here are some of the immediate changes coming today, so you can see these guys are serious, and there are a few things that have been getting on my nerves and a few of my mates' nerves that play the game. So let's see if there's anything in here that you or me wanted to happen anyway. So let's go for shotguns first. For a while we felt the shotguns promoted healthy close quarters gameplay, which is exactly what they're used for, and is something that's really fun and definitive in the game, because if you can master shotguns, then you become a lot better than your counterpart on the game. However, with the recent equipment time changes, shotguns are being used more often than we like. It's something we've been keeping an eye on, but broadly speaking, we feel shotguns are a little too strong in their current state. As a result, we are making these adjustments. So the pump shotgun, the head shot multiplier is being reduced from 2.5 to 2.0, so a ×2 damage profile, which is I agree with it, because there are a lot of people that follow me that have actually said to me on Twitter, Mr. Tracky, getting a 200 plus headshot is absolutely ridiculous. So I get this, and I do believe you should be rewarded for a singular headshot if somebody isn't 200 health. If they're, you know, like 175 and you hit that headshot, then yeah, you deserve to be rewarded if they've not got full shield. But if you've got full shield, then personally I don't think you should be down in one headshot with a pump shotgun. That is very, very powerful. It's going to change this game's meta totally. Damage reduction from 90-95 to 80-85. The tactical shotgun's headshot multiplier is going to be reduced down to ×2 also. Shotgun consistency across the board is also something we are trying to look into and aim to improve. We want to make sure it's apparent when you hit or miss shots. In addition to that, making sure the accuracy is more consistent and improving other odd behavior with weapons is top priority. We identified a number of issues that we are currently working on to resolve in the near future, and we all know that issue that they are talking about. That is when you hit and you know you hit that shot but you only get 9. It's just the worst feeling ever to know you've outbuilt someone, you've outplayed them, you've jumped over, you've hit the shot, you get a 9 and then you die. It's something that is imperative that they fix, because it is game breaking at times when you know you was the accurate person, you was the first party to get your shots off, but you still take that big fat L, and it feels so bitter to swallow sometimes. So it's really good news to hear that Epic Games are actually starting to look into these issues and get them resolved, because there's no point having such high risk, high reward guns in the game, people going for headshots, if they're going to be kicked in the teeth with a 9. Traps, this one's actually made me laugh, because they felt the traps were too strong at 125, reduced them down to 75, and now they're buffing them up to 150. Now me personally, I genuinely believe that if you get hit by a trap, you wasn't paying enough attention, and at that basis you deserve the damage that is inflicted on yourself. you need to be more careful, you need to be more tactical, and if someone wants to play defensively, they should have something at their disposal, which is the traps. We made a large change to traps a few weeks ago to test decreased damage from 125, as I just said, to 75. This was done in an effort to better understand the impact traps have throughout a match. The change sparked a great deal of excellent discussion about traps, and we are going to lean more into improving their effectiveness. We want this to add more ways for you to be potent in combat. Here are the changes, and there we go, it's gone up to 150. Now this next portion of what I'm going to speak about, I was actually going to do a separate video on it today, but it's null and void now. It's no point because it's been voted. You may have seen my guided missile video. I believe that had no place in the game. It didn't reward a skillful player. It rewarded someone that was ultra defensive, took themselves away from the gameplay, and the jetpack is something that I personally think is abused, especially by better players. People just boost up in the air now and just get them random headshots on you, and it's so much harder. Speaking as a Call of Duty, previously playing Call of Duty with boost movements, it was so hard to track someone above you or below you because these were unnatural movements in previous Call of Duties, and I feel it's the same in terms of Fortnite. You only really have to do that in build-offs. So when someone's boosting above you, it's such an unnatural thing to try and aim at them while they're up. So it just gave them an instant advantage, in my personal opinion. You go out your way to shoot down a sky base, and then someone just boosts down and casually runs off. I don't feel it rewards anyone but the player using the package, and that is something that I think has an ill advantage to one person. There's no real counter in my personal opinion. It's hard to hit your shots on someone who's jetpacking. We've already seen Tfue, how fast he can actually build a fort using a jetpack. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And this was a limited time item. I believe they was going to try and implement it into the game because it's taken a while for it to come out, but they will be voting this at 8 AM on Monday the 11th of June. So get your last matches in, get your last epic gameplays in it, because it is going in the vote where I personally believe it belongs. Right, going down to weapons and items. Bouncer trap added, rare trap, drops in stacks of 3, treasure chest, supply drops, supply llama. Before we continue about the traps, because I don't personally think that great. They are funny if you block somebody in a room and just have them bouncing up and down. But for me, I need to speak about this next portion because it's much more important in the bouncer traps. Building adjustments. We are making the following changes to address a few top concerns, including rocket launchers, grenades, dominance in the late game. Now I'm sure there are many of you that get to the final 2 or 3 people. Everyone's in forts, and if you haven't got a high damage weapon like a rocket launcher or grenade launcher, you're really not in the fight, are you? You're bound to lose because it's just literally spam rockets until you kill that person, which is quite unfortunate because this is the portion of the game where usually the better players have battled it out to get to the last few people, and it should be the most skillful build-offs, the most skillful fights in most cases, not a spamming match of RPGs. So what's happened here is they have decreased the amount of materials that llamas give you. The llamas have actually received a nerf. They won't actually give you any type of rocket ammo in them anymore. They've decreased material stacks from 500 to 200 per resource. Personally, I think they should have left this as 500 in a squad game. I don't think they've really accounted for that in the squad games. I've just played a few games, got a couple llamas with my mates, and it was worthless us even having a llama between ourselves. We might as well just cut down that stuff ourselves because it's a lot quicker instead of sitting down sharing it out to everyone. Explosive ammo has been removed. Damage fall off versus structure removed from rifles, SMGs, pistols, LMGs. Floor loot materials are being adjusted. Material drop chances in floor loot reduced by 33%. Material stack size in floor loot reduced by 33%. Ammo availability adjusted. Light ammo stacks increased because they've buffed the minigun. It's more accurate now and it does a bit more damage, I believe. Explosive ammo has been decreased in availability by 50%. So it just shows how much of a problem they believe the final circles are in RPGs. Now, we had the discussion about the guided missiles and people just had so much ammunition for those that people were talking about giving it a different type of ammunition, but it's the same problem with the RPGs. Now, they deserve to have a place in the game. They're a necessity, they're a good tool, but having too much ammo for them is a problem in the latter parts of the game. Minigun adjustment, accuracy increased by 10%. Light ammo spawn increased by from 60 to 90. Damage against structures increased from 25 to 30. The C4 is absolutely potent now. I don't know why they didn't make C4 potent in the first place. It's C4 for God's sake. But the explosion radius has been increased from 400 to 600. So be careful when you are using these and you're in close proximity, because you will down yourself. If you test them against walls now, you will pretty much blow out the whole entire structure. I used to blow up my house as a distraction after running across to use it as like a decoy, and it would take out half the house. Now the whole floor at the bottom gone. Teams of 20 storm damage per tick has been adjusted. Storm circle 1 damage per tick 10 to 1. For circle 2 10 to 2. From circle 3 10 to 4, and finally for circle 4 10 to 8. So let me know down in the comment sections your feelings, especially on the likes of the shotguns. Now, these are something I believe are very skillful to use. However, I do believe that this fine tuning will really make these weapons exactly what they should be. I do believe that they are a little too powerful, and if you can be lucky. Believe me, you could be the most skillful player and get killed by an absolute potato because they got a lucky headshot. And I don't personally believe that rewards good play. And it's something that needs adjusting personally. So the knowing that if you've got the blue and it's 95 times 2, it's just short of the 200. So if somebody is slightly damaged, they're gonna die, and that is exactly how it should be. Full shield, there shouldn't really be anything in the game that can kill you apart from a major fall or something just seriously stupid. But in terms of a shotgun, a one blast to the face should take almost all your health and leave you in dire circumstances. People are skillful enough to switch over to ARs after a pump shot to the face, then that's what should happen, because that takes skill and that's what should be rewarded. I'm tired of games where people are rewarded for being bad players, and Fortnite has been highly rewarding to me for actually grafting for the last couple months now to get better at the game. The learning curve has been absolutely immense. So once again, guys, down in the comment section, tell me how you feel about these changes to the shotgun, how you feel about the changes to the traps, how do you feel about the jetpack getting voted, and finally, do you think the nerf to the llama was warranted? Me personally, I think the llama was one of the best additions to the game, and I don't personally feel like they should have touched it. However, I do agree with them taking the explosive rounds out of it. That was fine with me. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but the like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy, and as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.